Hello, everybody. So you probably don't have a whole lot of perspective as to what this is. So just to give you a little bit of history, we're calling this Action Clocktower based off of Action Castle. For those of you who are not familiar with Action Castle was a project put together by Jared Sorensen and Parsley Games back in around 2009, 2010. The idea is that this was a game that, by the way, still exists. You can go to the Parsley Games, which, by the way, is Parsely, like parsing, you know. Parsley Games put this together. You can actually go and find them, and they have a whole book of these text-based kind of adventures that you can do. It's like $20 for the hardcover, and like you pay an extra $5, you get the PDF so that you can have it on digital, which I have. It's really cool. It's like one of these kind of games that you can just kind of play with, like, you know, like when you're on car rides or on planes. But the idea generally is that it's trying to replicate the experience of having a kind of late 80s, early 90s text-based adventure. Like if anybody's familiar with Zork or Lord of the Red Dragon, any of that kind of Legend of the Red Dragon, any of that kind of stuff. Lord is called. This is kind of going to evoke the same kind of experience. The way that this is going to work is that I am the computer program. I am the game. The way that it is played is that you folks are going to be coming up to the microphone, standing in a queue, like it says on the instructions that you totally can't. There it is. And these instructions are pretty straightforward. You come up, you form a queue, and you get up to the microphone, you give a command, just like you're inputting a command into the computer program. I, as the parser, I'm going to respond accordingly, and we are going to go on an adventure through Ravenswood Bluff. Now, the original version of Action Castle is a RPG where you go and you experience a castle setting, and your objective is to become king of the castle and save the princess or whatever it is. Obviously, that's pretty cool. But I, in a fit of mania, decided that I was going to adapt this to the Clocktower setting. So we are going to play a game of Clocktower, except that the game of Clocktower is actually going to be completely as a text adventure. There will be no grim. There will be no visuals. I can only give you the example that you can notice that there is a clock over there. I don't want to spoil too much, but just to kind of get you started, we are playing a 12-player game of Trouble Brewing. That's all I'm going to start telling you. Everything else you guys are going to have to figure out along the way as to how to get to people's cottages, how to talk to people. Keep in mind, this is a replica of a game that is older than most of you. The technology is a little ancient, so if you're trying to give complex commands, I'm not going to understand them. This is a text-based computer program. It is probably smaller than the apps on your phones. For that reason, you're going to have to be very basic in being able to give instructions. Now, that said, does anyone have any questions before we begin that I can help make this a better experience for you? No? Okay. Seems pretty straightforward. We are all playing as one player, in case that wasn't clear. So we are the player, and we are all going to queue up at the microphone and give commands. So you're going to give a command. When you get a chance, as you can see, you will endure consequences. We will endure consequences together based on what you've decided to enter as a command. And then once you're done, just get to the end of the line if you want to go up again. That said, we can feel free to begin. So Kev? You all collectively are a player in the game. As to what is actually happening, you'll figure it out. Yeah. All right. So that said, if you guys want to start forming an orderly queue, feel free to over at the microphone here, and I will get started with our introduction. So, cottage number 3. You are in your cottage. There is a raincoat here. It is midnight. Outside, a hellish thunderstorm rages. You hear a terrible scream outside in town square. Exits are out.
Examine me.
You are a townsfolk in the town of Ravenswood Bluff. You have clothing on.
Get raincoat.
You take the raincoat. You wear the raincoat. No common colds today, demon.
Look room?
Your room is sparsely furnished. It generally has a bed and a table to eat at and a hearth. It's a pretty straightforward cottage. Nothing really exciting. It's just a place where you can lay your head and kind of eat and stuff like that.
Exit cottage.
You head out into the rainstorm to East Ravenswood Bluff. You are on the east side of Ravenswood Bluff. There are 3 cottages here. Exits are Cottage 2, Cottage 3, Cottage 4, and West.
Open inventory.
Inventory. You see in your inventory, raincoat. Also, crossbow and bolt ×1.
Knock, cottage 2.
Go cottage 2. This is Bell's cottage. It is dark inside, and the door is locked. You cannot go that way.
What were the other cottages?
Exits are Cottage 2, Cottage 3, Cottage 4, and West.
Cottage 3.
This is your cottage. You just left it. You do not need to return. You cannot go that way.
Look for a goose.
I'm sorry, I don't see that here.
West.
You soldier through the streets of you soldier through the sheets of rain and threat of being struck by freakish lightning to arrive in town square. You are in town square. An event is unfolding. The townsfolk of Ravenswood Bluff have all done exactly as you have and followed the sound of the scream to the town square. The clock tower is illuminated by flashes of lightning and show your town storyteller impaled upon its hands, blood dripping onto the cobblestones below. You look at your fellow townsfolk and realize that among you is the culprit, a demon that killed the storyteller and will surely continue killing. Judging by the way your neighbors look at you, it's clear that you are far from suspicion. Terrified and tense, you all head back to your cabins, lock the doors, and snuff the candles in an attempt to sleep. Cottage number 3. You are in your cottage. It is dawn. There is a raincoat here. Exits are out.
Look outside.
So outside of your cottage, you do have a window. You can see the town of Ravenswood Bluff. Because you are looking from the east side, you have to look west to be able to see town square. But there are 12 cottages, and in the center of town square is the clock tower that is a bloody mess.
Take raincoat.
Why not, right? You take the raincoat. It's not raining, but you never know.
Also go west.
Okay. You are on the east side of Ravenswood Bluff. There are 3 cottages here. Exits are Cottage 2, Cottage 3, Cottage 4, and West.
Go west.
You head west to Town Square. The bodies of the storyteller are here. Exits are north, east, south, and west. Yeah.
Go south.
You head south. You are on the south side of Ravenswood Bluff. There are 3 cottages here. Exits are Cottage 5, Cottage 6, Cottage 7, and north.
Go to cottage 6.
The cottage looks open, so you decide to check on Cottage 6's owner, Frankie. Give me a second. Loading. You are in Cottage 6. The cottage is a mess of random hoarded objects and unmended clothes. Frankie is here. Exits are out.
Talk to Frankie.
Frankie is not the biggest fan of you. They sneer as they speak. Well, 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 if it isn't user. You got some nerve coming in this cabin. Don't play dumb. You know what you did. You do not, in fact, know what you did. As whatever it was, it happened ages ago. Dialogue options. A, do you know who could be doing this? B, have you heard any rumors lately? C, I think I know who may be the demon. Can I count on your vote? Or D, I must leave.
B.
You ask Frankie, have you heard any rumors lately? Frankie busies themselves by playing with a bunch of weird objects in some arcane ritual, dismissing your question. I don't speak with nobody in this stupid town, they reply. I keep to myself.
A.
If you... I don't care. Whatever you want, man.
Yes, those are free to use.
Thank you, Capelli. Also, shouts to Capelli, by the way. A, you ask Frankie, do you know who could be doing this? Frankie scoffs. I have no idea, but it's probably you. You seem like the murdering type.
Give Frankie my raincoat.
Frankie looks at you. I didn't fucking prepare this. Frankie looks at you with a quizzitive look. It's not my style. But thanks.
D.
I must leave. You leave Frankie's cottage and head back to South Ravenswood Bluff. You cautiously leave Frankie's cottage and head out to South Ravenswood Bluff. You are in South Ravenswood Bluff. There are 3 cottages here. Exits are Cottage 5, Cottage 6, Cottage 7, and North.
Cottage 7.
The cottage looks open, so you decide to check on Cottage 7's owner, Gabe. You are in Cottage 7. It is meticulously cleaned to the point of making you self-conscious. Gabe is here. Exits are out.
Talk to Gabe.
Gabe brushes some dust off of his lapel and gives a cordial smile to you. Good day, user. I pray you have been keeping safe throughout all of this madness. Dialogue options. The same as before. But if you want a refresher, A, do you know who could be doing this? B, have you heard any rumors lately? C, I think I know who may be the demon. Can I count on your vote? And D, I must leave.
B.
You ask Gabe if they've heard any rumors lately. Gabe's mustache twitches when asked this question, but he does respond. I am aware that several people in town have alibis for last night during the murder. The entirety of the west side seems safe to me. Lottie, however, on the north side, is not above suspicion. I will be watching her votes closely.
I'm very sorry for this, but I can't help myself. I tried to give Gabe the raincoat.
Gabe looks at the offered raincoat, notices that there is a small stain about the size of a dime on the coat, and says, "This is filthy. I have no desire for this."
Do you know who the murderer is?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Examine cottage.
Gabe's cottage is meticulously cleaned. There are no signs at all that the person who is maintaining this is what we would call a slob. They are, the cottage has multiple different outfits lined up, perfectly pressed and steamed, ready to go for whatever jobs it is that they are deciding to do, including lots of gloves, lots of white gloves.
Can I hear the dialogue options again?
Dialogue options. A, do you know who could be doing this? B, have you heard any rumors lately? C, I think I know who may be the demon. Can I count on your vote? D, I must leave.
A.
Do you know who may be doing this? Gabe answers the question while washing some dishes in a pot of scalding water. I am afraid that my work has kept me dedicated to my employers, none of which seem capable of such gruesome acts.
D.
I must leave. You leave Gabe's cottage in awe of how clean it is and head to South Ravenswood Bluff. You are in South Ravenswood Bluff. There are 3 cottages here. Exits are Cottage 5, Cottage 6, Cottage 7, and North. The cottage looks open, so you decide to check on Cottage 5's owner, Emma. You are in Cottage 5. Hand-painted artwork depicting the cottage owner celebrating with other people in town adorns the wall. Emma is here. There is a painting here. Exits are out.
Look, painting.
The painting isn't finished, but it appears to depict Emma and Belle hugging each other and smiling merrily in front of purple-colored fire.
Talk to Emma.
Talk Emma. Emma greets you with a hug, distressed at the number of dead bodies piling up in the town. Thank the Lord you're here, user. I don't know who I can trust anymore.
Steel painting.
Emma's eyes widen as she sees you coveting her newest piece of art. Hey, that's not finished, and it's not yours. Get your hands off of it. She tries her best to smack your hands before she covers it up with a tarp and watches you very carefully from now on.
Apologize for kleptomania.
I do not recognize that command.
Sorry, what dialogue options have we done already, or just like no?
I haven't said them, but they're the same. I'm sorry.
Okay, B.
Have you heard any rumors lately? Let me get that. Emma strokes her chin thoughtfully before responding. Someone told me that your neighbor Belle was some sort of goody-goody. I don't like her. Nobody's that pure.
Give Emma a raincoat.
Loading. Emma looks at the coat and says, "This isn't going to fit me."
A.
Do you know who could be doing this? Emma shifts her eyes this way and that before leaning in to speak with you conspiratorially. I think one of my neighbors did it, user. Seriously, I think one of them may be responsible for what happened. Just before the storyteller was murdered, I heard one of the doors next door opening. Who would go out that late in the middle of such a storm? Oh, I just wish I could narrow down which one it was that I heard.
D.
I must leave. Though Emma won't let you leave without a hug first, you do head out to South Ravenswood Bluff. The gold and amber glow of sunset filters through the windows. In the distance, at Town Square, the massive bells of the clock tower ring. All of Ravenswood Bluff know that the time has come, and one by one the denizens of the sleepy town convene in Town Square, alive and spectral alike. A decision must be made. With all of the information that has been gathered, the town is asked to submit an anonymous ballot for who it is to be executed, as that is town's only defense against the demon. Choose a townsfolk for your ballot. Type A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, or K.
Is there a correlation on the screen between the letters and who is linked to them?
As a command, I sure can't answer that. But as the person running the event, I think you can probably add up that, yeah, it does. Yeah.
F.
Your ballot has been submitted, as have those of anyone that you have influenced. All the votes have been tallied. Town had decided to put Haley to the gallows. Sobbing, professing their innocence, they are led to the noose. With their final words, they say, I just wish I could just waive the fees for the late books. You didn't have to do this. The floor is dropped. With their necks snapped, Haley has died. Those still living in Ravenswood Bluff go to sleep. You are in Cottage 3. It is dawn. The news has been spread throughout the town. Ahmed was killed in the night. Exits are out. You head out to East Ravenswood Bluff. You are in East Ravenswood Bluff. There are 3 cottages here. Exits are Cottage 2, Cottage 3, Cottage 4, and West.
Cottage 2.
The cottage looks open, so you decide to check on Cottage 2's owner, Belle. You are in Cottage 2. It is a cozy, warm, and inviting. It smells of a hearty winter stew. Belle is here. Exits are out.
Examine cottage.
Belle's cottage is a particularly well-furnished cottage. It seems that the chair looks incredibly comfortable, one that you could very easily take a nap in, and it smells amazing.
B.
Have you heard any rumors lately? Belle says, I spoke with someone who seems to think that Lottie has been awfully quiet these past few days. I don't see that here.
Take nap in chair.
I don't see that here.
A.
Do you know who could be doing this? Belle says, the other night I saw Frankie and Gabe sitting together at a table at the town tavern. They may be neighbors, but they have always been far from neighborly. That seems a little odd, don't you think?
Talk, Belle.
Same dialogue options as before. Oh, you can continue if you want to. Okay.
Offer Bill a raincoat.
Loading. You never got rid of it. Belle looks at the raincoat and says, no, I'm good. I can only do so much, guys. Yeah.
D.
I must leave. You bid goodbye to Belle and head to East Ravenswood Bluff. You are in East Ravenswood Bluff. There are 3 cottages here. Cottages are 2, 3, 4, and west. Or exits are cottage 2, 3, 4, and west. Cottage 4. The cottage looks open, so you decide to check on Cottage 4's owner, Denise. You are in Cottage 4. It reeks of terribly powerful, potent odors that are meant to be aromatic, but really, they just aggravate your sinuses. Denise is here. Exits are out.
Talk to Denise.
Denise has a reputation as an eccentric but polite woman in town. She likes being around people, but few people in town bother to come to her cabin. Well, hello, user, she says with a smile. What a lovely surprise. I was just going to have a glass of wine to calm my nerves from all this death. Come join me, won't you? Dialogue options are the same.
B.
Have you heard any rumors lately? Denise shrugs nonchalantly. The only weird thing that I noticed last night was that John was talking to Ken before we went back to our cabins last night. I don't know if that means anything, though.
A.
Denise gasps at the question. You know, I spent last night thinking about Ahmed and Ken in particular. As soon as I did, some divine energy surged through me in my bed. I don't know which one of them it was, but something about the pair sent shivers down my spine. I fear one of them may be responsible for the killings.
D.
I must leave. You leave Denise's cottage and head back to East Ravenswood Bluff. You are in East Ravenswood Bluff. Exits are Cottage 2, Cottage 3, Cottage 4, and out.
West to Town Square.
You head west to Town Square. You are in Town Square. The bodies of Haley, Ahmed, and the storyteller are here. Exits are northeast, south, and west.
Go north.
You head north. You are on the north side of Ravenswood Bluff. There are 3 cottages here. Exits are Cottage 11, Cottage 12, Cottage 1, and south.
Cottage 11.
Loading. It's at the last page. You are in Cottage 11. The hearth is empty, and despite the large number of lit candles, the cottage is exceedingly cold. Ken is here. Exits are out.
Ken.
Ken is an older man with a flowing gray beard, sharp features, and a bad back. He shivers as he walks through the cottage, clutching a rosary, but bidding you kindly. Dialogue options are the same.
Give raincoat.
Ken looks up in awe at you as you wrap your raincoat over his shoulders. His hands find you and hold you close, feeling blessed by an act of such charity. Nobody else would help me, user. You are worthy of divinity, he says, saying a prayer for your protection.
A.
Do you know who could be doing this? Able to focus better because of the coat keeping him warm, the robed man points to his windows. I felt an evil stench of foulness the other night. A demon tried coming for me in the night, but was repelled by divine power. I'm sure it was Belle, your neighbor.
B.
Have you heard any rumors lately? Ken puts his hands on your shoulders and grips tight. This demon, whatever it is, does not act alone. I can feel its essence spread thinner throughout across the town. There is another, an apprentice, waiting to inherit the dark power as a failsafe. We must be extra vigilant.
C.
Ken does not take your suggestion. There is no doubt in my mind that Belle is the demon. We must destroy her.
Examine cottage.
The cottage is sparsely decorated, but there are many religious icons on the wall.
D.
I must leave. The sunlight and fresh air actually feel warm when you compare it to Ken's frigid cottage, and you head to North Ravenswood Bluff. Exits are Cottage 11, Cottage 12, Cottage 1, and south.
Cottage 12.
You head to Cottage 12, the actual last page. You are in Cottage 12. It is the northernmost home in town and by far the largest. Lottie is here. Exits are out and study.
Study.
Lottie shows you to the mayoral residence's study. Study. You are in the study. Walls are lined with Lottie's private collection of books. There is a suspicious book here. Exits are out.
Look, suspicious book.
The book is very old, leather-bound, and well-loved.
Read suspicious book.
It doesn't really look like a book that you would want to read.
Show suspicious book to Lottie.
I'm sorry, I don't understand that command.
Steal book.
You take the first edition leather-bound belonging to Haley's mother. Stealing is good.
Talk to Lottie.
Lottie did not actually come into the study with you. Out. You head back to Cottage 12.
Talk, Lottie.
Lottie is Ravenwood Bluff's mayor. Everyone knows Lottie. Most people like Lottie. She gives you a handshake. This whole demon business is truly awful, she laments. We're going to get out to the bottom of this. As your leader, I will do all that I can to protect you. Just don't leave, okay? I need the votes for the next election. Dialogue options are the same.
B.
Have you heard any rumors lately? Mayor Lottie nods intently. Oh, I hear all sorts of rumors. You wouldn't believe the stuff Haley overhears in the library. She comes by all the time with books and shares things that she's heard. For example, did you know that Emma and Belle are engaged in a tryst? I know, not super scandalous, but still surprising. They always seem so catty in town.
A.
Do you know who could be doing this? I'm afraid I'm no help there, Mayor Lottie confesses. Everyone is here seems so friendly, and I'm always so swamped with work. I couldn't imagine one of us being a demon.
D.
I must leave. Hang on. You need a housemaid to show you how to leave the mayor's huge house. But eventually, you head out to North Ravenswood Bluff. Exits are Cottage 11, Cottage 12, Cottage 1, and South.
Go Cottage 1.
You go to Cottage 1. Cottage 1. It is a neutral, inoffensive cabin that looks decidedly average. The ghost of Ahmed is here. Exits are out.
Oh. All right. Hello, ghost friend. Talk to Ahmed.
Ahmed has always had a very serious look about him, even before the killing started. They are not known for their sense of humor. Nevertheless, they are cordial and put a kettle on when you arrive. To what do I owe the pleasure of your company, user? Same as before.
A.
Do you know who could be doing this? Ahmed pauses and studies you carefully with their intense eyes. It takes several uncomfortable seconds before they respond. Have you gotten a good look at the storyteller's body, user? Because I have. Scary stuff, I say. The rips on the flesh look demonic for sure, but I have discovered something else that everyone seems to have missed. Traces of lipstick stains on the body. A shade of lipstick that looks common enough to the pedestrian eye, but I pay closer attention. I've only ever seen it on the lips of two in this town. Lady Ingrid in her younger years, and Emma, the girl who hugs everyone. Loading. Where the fuck is it? File not found. This is why you don't do this on paper. Okay. The gold and amber glow of sunset filters through the windows. In the distance at Town Square, a massive bell of clock towers ring. All of Ravenswood Bluff knows that the time has come, and one by one, the denizens of the sleepy town convene in Town Square, alive and spectral alike. A decision must be made. Choose a townsfolk for your ballot. Type A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K.
Inventory.
Inventory. You have crossbow, bolt times 1.
Equip crossbow.
Your crossbow is equipped.
What happened to our suspicious book?
Oh, your suspicious book is also in the inventory as well. I apologize.
Read suspicious book.
We're in the middle of a vote here, so no.
Fine. Honk at town.
I do not understand this command.
E.
E. Your vote has been submitted, as have those of anyone you've influenced. Hold, please. Loading, loading. File not found. All of the votes have been tallied. Town has decided to put Denise to the gallows. Sobbing, professing their innocence, they are led to the noose. With their final words, they say, Emma is evil. Frank is evil. The spirits divine their fortune, and those of you all, stop them before it's too late. The floor is dropped. With their necks snapped, Denise has died. Those still living in Ravenswood Bluff, go to sleep. You are in your cottage. It is dawn. The news has spread through the town. No one has died at night. Exits are out.
Out.
You head out of Cottage 3 to East Ravenswood Bluff. Exits are Cottage 2, Cottage 3, Cottage 4, and west. Cottage 2. You tried to head to Cottage 2, but Belle is not home.
Four.
You head to Cottage 4. You head to Cottage 4. You are in Cottage 4. It reeks of terribly powerful, potent odors that are meant to be aromatic, but just aggravate your sinuses. The ghost of Denise is here. Exits are out.
A.
Denise takes a sip of their wine, also ghostly. I don't know how. It works somehow. And appears to be tight-lipped for a moment before looking at the divination paraphernalia on her table. There's something evil between Ahmed and Ken, I am for sure. But I spoke with that crazy Frank yesterday, as well as old lady Ingrid. I got something evil there, too. I'm starting to suspect that the conspiracy runs deep, user.
C.
I think I know who may be the demon. Can I count on your vote? Denise asks, who do you think the demon is? Type A through K, or A through L, sorry.
E.
Denise accepts your recommendation and says that you can count on her vote.
Show suspicious book.
Denise says, why would I want to read this?
D.
I must leave. You exit the cottage and head back to Ravenswood Bluff, or East Ravenswood Bluff. Exits are Cottage 2, Cottage 3, Cottage 4, and West.
West.
You head west to Town Square. The bodies of, oh Jesus. The bodies of the storyteller, Ahmed, Haley, and Denise are here. Exits are north, east, south, and west.
West.
You head west to West Ravenswood Bluff. There are 3 cottages here. Exits are Cottage 8, 9, 10, and east. The cottage looks open, so you decide to check on Cottage 8's owner, Haley. You are in Cottage 8. Piles of books stacked taller than its owner govern all corners of the cottage. Haley is here. The ghost of Haley is here. Exits are out.
Give book.
Haley breaks out of a frenzied panic and gasps in delight. User, you found my book. Thank you so much. I am terribly indebted to you. What would you like to know?
B.
Have you heard any rumors lately? Haley's ghost scoots closer to you and leans in, quietly sharing what she's learned. I don't trust Gabe. He's been going around to people's houses to work as their butler, but he knows things that about other people in town that he couldn't possibly know otherwise. He knows too much. I don't know, user. I fear he is snooping on people and is up to no good.
Tell me about this book.
Haley, I'll parse it as examine book because I'm a smart computer. Haley looks at the book and says, this is my mother's first edition leather bound from when I was a child. It's one of my favorite books. I'm so happy that you brought it back to me.
A.
Do you know who could be doing this? Haley has to stop fawning over the book she thought had been lost forever to answer the question. Ah, yes. Well, as the town librarian, I loan books to everyone in town with a library card. That is to say, everyone except Frank and Denise. Frank keeps to himself and hardly ever comes into town, and Denise is so busy drinking the day away that she doesn't even know where she is half the time.
C.
I think I know who the demon may be. Can I count on your vote? Who do you think the demon is? Type A through L. The ghost of Haley accepts your vote and says that they will vote along with you. I must leave. You leave Haley's cottage, you trip over a stack of books leaving Haley's cottage and head out to West Ravenswood Bluff. The golden amber glow of sunset filters through the windows. Yada, yada, yada. At this point, you've skipped reading the whole thing, so I'm not going to bother just reading it again. I got a schedule I got to keep to. Right. Choose a townsfolk for your ballot. Type A through J, or A through K. L? I can't spell.
E.
Your ballot has been submitted, as of those of anyone you have influenced. All votes have been tallied. Loading. All the votes have been tallied. Town has decided to put Gabe to the gallows. Sobbing, professing their innocence, they are led to the noose. With their final words, they say, very well, if you must, get on with it then. The floor is dropped. With their necks snapped, Gabe has died. Those still living in Ravenswood Bluff, go to sleep. You are in Cottage 3. It is dawn. The news has spread through the town that Ken has been killed in the night. Exits are out.
Go out.
You head out into East Ravenswood Bluff. Exits are Cottage 2, Cottage 3, Cottage 4, and West.
West.
You head west to Town Square. The bodies of many people are here.
Examine bodies.
They're dead. The bodies of Haley and Denise have been hung because you watched it happen, and the bodies of the storyteller Ahmed and Gabe, I should mention. The bodies of the storyteller Ahmed and Ken are covered in vicious claw marks.
Go west.
You head west to West Ravenswood Bluff. You are on the west side of Ravenswood Bluff. There are 3 cottages here. Exits are Cottage 8, 9, 10, and East.
Go Cottage 10.
You approach Cottage 10. Before even opening the door, John opens the door. He holds a sword and points it directly at you. He tells you sternly, with a military-trained posture, to leave his property. John is not trusting anyone with this calamity occurring and refuses to speak with anyone in town until they execute the demon. It is such a scary experience that you're not quite sure what else to do with the rest of your day. The amber glow filters through The golden amber glow of sunset filters through the windows. In the distance in town square, the bells of the clock tower ring. Choose a townsfolk for your ballot. Type A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L.
Load crossbow.
Crossbow has been equipped with 1 bolt. Are you still there?
E.
I don't understand this command.
Oh, it's not vote time? Okay.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. So all the votes have been tallied. Oh, jeez. Too many papers. All the votes have been tallied. Town has decided to put Town has decided to put Emma to the gallows. Sobbing, professing their innocence, they are led to the noose. With the final words, they say, "May the counsel of the purple flame consume you and your children all." The floor is dropped with their necks snapped. Emma has died. Those still living in Ravenswood Bluff go to sleep. You are in Cottage 3. It is dawn. The news has spread through the town. Ingrid was killed in the night. Exits are out.
Can I leap through my window to Cottage 2, do a roll in, and shoot Belle with the crossbow?
I'm sorry, I don't understand this command. I don't understand that command. You are in Cottage 3.
Out.
Out. You head to West Ravenswood Bluff, or East Ravenswood Bluff. Exits are Cottage 2, Cottage 3, Cottage 4, and out.
West.
You head west to Town Square. The bodies of a lot of people are here. Like most of the town, actually. I'm sorry? No.
Loot bodies?
I don't understand this command.
Bury bodies.
That's not your job.
Take back raincoat.
The fuck is wrong with you? You wager that Ken's body no longer needs the raincoat. You have obtained 1 raincoat. Gently used.
Go west.
You head west to West Ravenswood Bluff. Exits are Cottage 8, Cottage 9, Cottage 10, and east. Cottage looks open. because whoever's in it is dead. You decide to check on the Cottage 9's owner, Ingrid. Spoiler alert, they're dead. You are in Cottage 9. You think to wipe your feet at the entrance, but it appears that there's already layers of dirt caked into the floor near the door. The ghost of Ingrid is here. Exits are out.
A.
I don't understand that command.
Speak to Ingrid.
You've known Ingrid all your life. She's very kind and has been a lifelong resident of the Bluff, but she also has the ghastly job of burying the town's dead. A wizened old woman. At this point, she offers you tea. No, she doesn't. Never mind. What am I talking about? She cannot prepare the tea kettle because she is a ghost. Dialogue options are the same.
A.
This morning, the elderly woman, Ingrid, begins to say, I was prepared to bury the body of someone. However, it's a grisly business it is. We did execute that person, but I did not get a chance to figure out any information about them before I was killed in the night. I ain't sharing this with the rest of town, but I've known you since you were a wee babe. I trust you. There's no doubt in my mind that Emma was the Scarlet Woman.
C.
I think I know who may be the demon. Can I count on your vote? Who do you think the demon is? Type A through L.
B.
Lady Ingrid accepts your vote, and we'll vote with you. I must leave. You leave Ingrid's cottage and head back to Ravenswood Bluff. You kick dirt off of your shoes while you leave the cottage and head to Rest Ravenswood Bluff. The golden amber glow of sunset fills through the windows. Blah, 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 blah. Choose the... I got a time, you know. Skip cutscene. Choose the townsfolk for your ballot. Type A, B, or A through L.
The cutscene is I walk in with the sun setting behind me with my crossbow loaded, and I level it at Bell and say, die, demon.
As a smart computer, I will parse that as shoot Bell. Reaching for your trusty crossbow imbued with holy essence, you cock back the mechanism and load in your bolt. Many of the living in town recoil in caution. Steadily, without hesitation, you raise your weapon and point it at the defenseless Bell. The trigger pulled, the bolt sails strong and true through the damp village air. It lands as you intended, hitting Bell square between the eyes and causing them to crumple in a heap. Bell is dead. And congratulations, the good team has won. So, as a roll call, as is customary for a storyteller, Ahmed, as you know, was your investigator who saw something. I don't remember. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. Bell was your imp, your starting imp, who was bluffing as chef. User was, by the way, short for chat, C. Slayer, you were the Slayer, obviously. Denise, the drunk fortune teller. Emma, the Scarlet Woman, who was bluffing empath. Frank, the recluse. Gabe, the spy, bluffing butler. Haley, the librarian. Ingrid, the undertaker. John, the soldier. And Ken, the monk. And Lottie, the mayor. And that was your game of Trouble Brewing. Thank you very much. I have no idea what time it is. What time is it?
1:53. So we have 5 minutes if y'all want to ask questions in chat, whatever.
Yeah, so we don't have really much time. I think I paced that properly, but if you guys have something that comes to mind, just give us a shout. What's up?
Are you able to randomize the solution on this at all?
I have I have like kind of a thing where I have like a point system that I apply for based on where the votes have been, the influence votes have been spent. So that kind of, I basically attribute that as a ballot vote, and then from there I balance it out with where the other players would normally vote. And like, for example, I know we influenced 2 people to do the Emma vote on the night that we executed Gabe. The reason why we pushed that over the boat was because the 3 evil players would have voted for Gabe, plus the person who was suspicious of them, which I believe was Haley. Or no, not Haley. That would have been Ken. What? Denise was the drunk. That's right. Sorry. Yeah, Denise was the drunk. That's right. Yeah. What's up? So the question was, where was the goose? And then secondly, what else could you have stolen? To the first question, I know this is a Connecticut Blood on the Clocktower thing, but there was no goose in town. I'm sorry. And then secondly, what else could you have stolen? I think you genuinely stole everything.
Why was the book at the mayor's?
Why was the book at the mayor's? Because Haley and Lottie are, as Lottie mentioned, Haley and Lottie were like kind of in a trust circle. They trust each other, so they would go, see each other all the time. So when Haley went to the mayor's house, they left the book there. Yeah. I think you stole everything. I'm just checking. I mean, I was actually going to have an option at one point to take the Undertaker's shovel and like kind of do like a weird cannibal-ish thing where you like buried a body, but I wanted to really stick true to TB, so I decided not to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Chefs solve games, but unfortunately this one solved the game in the wrong direction. Yeah. What's that? So the raincoat was used as a tutorial for the opening scene.